Good morning, students. Welcome to SRBPS Virtual Classroom. Students, I am Archana Jha from Shri Rama Bharati School to teach you English. Today I am going to continue the previous class chapter, the last lesson. I hope all of you remember that. Today we are going to do its exercise part and we will study how to write long answer type questions. So here it is before you, the third part of the last lesson written by Alphonse Daudet. I hope you remember this face. Yes, he is Alphonse Daudet, who is the writer of this story. He set this story in the era of Franco-Prussian War, where Prussian already had defeated France and two of the districts of France, Alsace and Lorraine, had passed into the hands of Prussians. Now, writer is trying to tell us the impact of war on a small village of Alsace. And this story is narrated in the words of a school-going boy, French. So, we are introduced to a character, French, who is a school-going boy. That day, French was afraid of going to school. He was unwilling to go to school because he was late. And secondly, he was being given some work. His teacher had given him some homework related with participles and he had not done anything. So he was afraid of his teacher and didn't want to go to school. Moreover, he was tempted by the bright morning, the warm weather, and chirping of the birds. He, being a curious child, wanted to observe the drill practice done by Prussian soldiers in their fields. Now, this particular scene indicates that impact that how farmers' fields are being occupied by soldiers for their drill during wartime. So, how the village life gets affected, this is one indirect indication of that. And writer, knowingly not taking us to battlefield, tries to bring such kind of thing, such kind of words, such kind of scene before us to create that impact in the mind of the reader. Now this boy already was late, so he hurried to school and was able to control his temptation, and he hurried to school. On his way, he came across time hall where on the bulletin board some notice was there and a big crowd he could see there, and didn't know what was the notice, but he guessed that it must be some bad news because from last 2 years they were getting bad news only about their lost battles, some commands of orders from the commanding officers, etc. So he just guessed about that, but he continued and he went to his school. He was afraid of his teacher, M. Hamel, who was very strict, a ruler yielding teacher who used to punish students for being late and for other negligences. Now, when he reached there, he found that his classmates were already in their seats, and even the back benches were also filled, and elderly people of the village were sitting there. Now he was surprised to see that, but was just after that only, when he settled down, he heard the announcement done by the teacher. What was that announcement? That announcement was regarding their last French lesson. Yes, it was their last French lesson. As per the order from Berlin, they were informed by their teacher that this class was going to be their last lesson. Now, this news was a thunderclap for French. Yes, he was shocked. He was all of the sudden shocked because he didn't know anything in French. And now it was his last lesson. Now, after starting the class, teacher asked one by one and French turn came to answer certain questions. But as we were told earlier, he had not prepared his lesson, so he failed to answer. But after that also, instead of rebuking or scolding him, teacher politely told him to sit down and blamed everyone for postponing their learning and not able to learn French properly. Then he told them the importance of their mother tongue. He inspired them to love mother tongue, and he inspired them to learn French, because that was going to be their key to their prison. In the hour of crisis, they could be a proud Frenchman only when they knew French. So this was the last day of that teacher in the school. He was emotional about everything. He was having attachment with all the things present there. 40 years of his life he had spent there. So he was observing everyone, everything, every corner of that school, as if he wanted to fix that picture in his mind and wanted to carry that memory with him. So this is the way he spent his last lecture. And at last, in order to instill that patriotism in his students, he wrote Vive la France, means long live France. So that patriotism, that proud feeling, he tried to instill in his students. Here we have learnt that how the attitude towards people, thing changes with changing time. French, who was afraid of his teacher earlier, wanted to be with him forever. He was feeling pain when he was getting separated from him. Same when he was this teacher who used to postpone or used to enjoy the time and used to give free time to the students whenever he wanted to, today wanted to utilize a single minute of that. So we, during this story time only, we find that change in the teacher, in the attitude of the students too, right? So that is all about the story. We have already covered that explanation part, so I want you to go through that properly. You can go for those videos too. Now today especially I want to talk about the long answers, because knowing the story is one part and expressing that answer in your words, that is different. Many a time students fail to give that answer in a proper order, because many ideas come and to their mind, and they fail to organize it. For long answers, I suggest them to divide that in three parts. You may write it in three paragraphs too, but at least the thought process should be divided in three parts. So first para must contain the name of the chapter, writer's name, and one line answer of the question. I hope you can answer any question very briefly too. So if you can answer that in one line, one sentence, that will be part of your first paragraph. The second paragraph should have the detail part of the same question. So the actual answer part will be the second paragraph, and third paragraph is just to give a ending, a finishing touch, sum up the in few words. Students, writing three paragraph doesn't mean that you are to write each paragraph in 50 words or more than that. It depends on you how to divide that, but I just suggest for these three paragraphs to frame your answer properly. You feel you are able to give each answer properly there, and it is well that presentation also is effective. And moreover, writing one line answer in first paragraph saves you from missing that answer, because sometime while explaining the things you go to the right answer or right point at the last. Until then, maybe the examiner fails to notice that thing. So I don't want to miss anything. So when we answer in one line and then you go for explanation, that gives a right explanation, that gives a right way to it, right? So hopefully you have understood how to write it. I'm going to discuss about few questions here with the help of hint. Very important question comes in any of the chapter, that is about its character. Yes students, I know you have understood everything, so let's find out how to write a character sketch. As I told you, if it comes for the long answer type, I'll suggest you to mention the writer's name and story name and the first line only. Thereafter you can just connect this character with the story by taking him as a main character there. Okay, so now in the second part where you are going to describe about this character, because we need some certain adjective to describe any person, so we will have the collection of that. But writing mere the collection of adjective is not characterization. You need to support your answer with the instances from the lesson 2. Suppose you explained about strict Hamel being strict and cranky. That means you have understood about him through that story that he was a strict and cranky fellow. How you came to know about that? It might be through the observation of the student like French, or it might be any other place where he reacted in that way. You are to support your answer with that instance. Same way ruler yielding, because again and again we are being told that students were afraid of him, so that shows that he was very strict. And his ruler was under his arm, that means he used to carry it all the time. Anyway, you are to support your answer from the story part only. Okay, same way will carry on with the other words also, like passionate about French and proud of being French. Yes, he through his lecture, while he's talking about his last lesson, he expressed his feeling towards his own language and being French also. So, being French, he just denied to submit himself, and he decided to leave his country, and that was proud of being French. Again, when the Prussian soldier comes nearby the school, he holds himself high, his confidence is high, that shows his proud of being French. Same way, when he is teaching his student about learning French, importance of French language, importance of mother tongue, there his love for his mother tongue is revealed. So this way you can support your answer with the instances from the story, and that is very, very, very important. Now same way other points like being honest or being sensitive. See, if I'll say that he is honest, it doesn't serve the purpose, but how honestly he accepted and he took that responsibility to be blamed, that he also encouraged them to go for a free time and to enjoy time whenever it was learning time. That blame, taking that, accepting that, that makes him honest person. Same way his sensitivity towards his students, his feeling, his emotions towards his school, his attachment with that, everything really reveals him or presents him as a sensitive person. So this way you are to take any word, but you are to support that with the instances from your text. Same way the second character, which again French, you can explain the same way. Sensitive because and just he felt that pain when he was told that he would be separated from his teacher, and though he was reluctant to study, you may express this character especially in this chapter as a changed person also. Initially how what was his attitude towards his study and his teacher, and later on how it changed, that also is a part of his personality. That change you observed, so you can write about that too. Same way in Hamill's story also, the words will remain same, but your presentation may differ in this way. So French love for outdoors and his being good observer. How you can say he was a good observer? Again, his how he observed on the way the crowd also. He observed the behavior of his teacher. He observed that pigeon, and he observed the his teacher when he was looking at everything there. So all these things prove him to be good observer. So never forget to point out that incident. Okay, so this is all about text now, and just beyond the text little bit we will learn about. We talked about language here, we talked about French language here. So here we are going to learn about English little there, and that how this English has become the world language. This is one of the question which I just wanted to help you with, so that you can understand that when we say that English is a world language, what made it a world language, that also we should be aware of. Listen students, these are the certain words which I have just taken from the chapter only, that is logo, veranda, capital, tycoon or zero, or certain other words. You must be familiar with these words, right? So these all words are somewhere not the original words of the English, right? I hope you can guess about certain things, but let me help you for the same. I'm just revealing that, removing that curtain now. So logo is Greek, veranda is from Hindi language, capital is from Latin language, tycoon is from Japanese language, and zero from Italian language. And see how that this variety is being included in this language, and that makes it so inclusive, and that's why it becomes so close to any of the countrymen, and they are able to accept it as a first language or the second language. So learning new language is not to become a victim of linguistic chauvinism. No way. You must have respect for your mother tongue. Yes, you must have respect for your mother tongue. But yes, learning new languages gives you an opportunity to be exposed to the wider range of the audience, and that learning is nothing to do with the linguistic chauvinism. Linguistic chauvinism, if we'll talk about, it is all we have seen in this chapter, that when this Germans were imposing their language on French. Yes, that was the example of linguistic chauvinism, not the teachers feeling proud of his language. Okay, so don't get confused with these two things. Same way, when you are learning English, that is not to disrespect your mother tongue. It's just a learning a new language. So you have certain such questions in your textual exercise also. I would like you to go through that thing. We have discussed many things in between the explanation also, but that is all about to enhance your grasp on language, right? So that is all about today's class. I hope you have learned how to write long question answers, and how to improve your expression in that way. And this is the last part of the last lesson that we have done with. So thank you, have a good day, thank you, bye.